Hello everybody and welcome back to Dragon Age Veilguard, where I just got finished reading all the codex entries that I'm gonna freaking scatter amongst the episodes. And my jaw hurts now. I was just straight reading for an hour and like 18 minutes. I was like, oh my gosh, it took way longer. But of course I chit-chatted a little bit, but I was like, oh my gosh, the lore, you know? It's nice. It was a nice refresher. And which is why I'm going to scatter them throughout the videos, because I think it's not that late in the game, but I don't know, it's a little weird to not have the intro info earlier, so, but I also I'm not going to like make somebody watch a gazillion episodes, or one super huge long episode of lore, of codex entries, because yeah, that is not, it is less than ideal. So really quick, we are going to run back to the lighthouse. We're going to give Dabrin his gift. We're going to check on the ambiance audio, the ambiance interactions with people. And then we will, I want to finish up what I can do before I do the next bit. So I want to do the fight in Treviso with the Guardian or whatever, the champion. And I want to do the Arlathan Forest stuff to help people, but I'd rather do that before it's late at night, because that hurts my eyes. Arlathan Forest hurts my eyes now because it's so hard to watch, or hard to be in, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to say it. Is that another technically Kunari? It is also that design. Like, I think it's technically a Kunari design, but it also
another question about the crows.
looks like an elven headdress.
Go ahead. Do you have any say in your targets?
You want to know if my victims deserved it?
Forgive me. I shouldn't have asked.
Everyone wonders. I've never killed an innocent by my count. I cannot say if yours would agree.
That's fair. The back of those thrones looks like one of the elven headgears, I think. Also, I don't know, I don't think I've said it much before, but it is very weird to me that we can just run through the Fade with these spirits and they don't react to us, like, at all. Like, we are on the same plane of existence. It's not like we're, like, they can't see me. You know what I mean? Like, I can see them, they can see me. Like, why they wouldn't at least, like, say something, or, like, I hear, like, overhear dialogue. Like, it's so weirdly silent there. You know, like, you kind of hear murmurings, but, like, maybe that's it. Maybe, like, because they're Fade spirits, you don't get to hear everything, right? It just sounds like a murmur to you as a mortal. But it's, like, odd that they don't even, like, look at you. Like, they can't even see you. And maybe that'll be explained later, but I do kind of doubt that. Ooh, I haven't, like, done a bunch of the comments yet, but I did see one today that Christopher, I think, mentioned that maybe the tree people that we're seeing are similar to, like, the stone powers, where Harding, like, flings her hand out and, like, turns the darkspawn into stone. If somebody had a similar thing, where, like, an explosion of power, and then it just, like, turned people into trees, you know? I was like, that seems very reasonable, you know? My other theory is that, like, you know, it's sort of maybe like a return to their previous forms or, like, something, but why trees, you know? Like, oh, a missive. Wrong button. Huh. Checking on an echo. Rook, I went with the wardens, Rodri and Janie, to check the well. We made sure it was still sealed, packed the earth tighter around it, and Warden Ilona, she's a mage, said she put wards on it. The echo is buried for now, but it never truly disappears. Wherever it's gone, if you meet it again, be careful and don't listen too close. Sincerely, Ida of Lavendale. I mean, I don't know why you guys still live there. If there's a thing. Are we gonna meet an echo spirit or something? That'd be interesting. Thanks from Treviso. Rook, Taya said that she could get this to you. I just wanted you to know that thanks to your rescue, I was able to get the supplies from Ravane down to Treviso. We just sprang a large group of prisoners free. Thanks to you and the Lords of Fortune, we had poisons to take out the Antom guard station, herbs to treat the prisoners' injuries, and gold for the bribes to get them safely out of Treviso. Treviso will be free, and the Antom will regret ever showing their faces here. Yours, Natalie of House Cantore. You're welcome! Oh, that's right. I have the elven stuff. I miss I missed the more watch stuff. I'm gonna change it back. In the previous game, I would have been all over this, but I didn't get it fast enough, so now I want my own faction, and I love the green light.
Shit. You shouldn't have to deal with all this, Rook. The sooner I can get out of here, the better.
Yeah, it would be nice. Oh, I have many dialogues from people apparently. Dang, okay. Oh, because I did kind of just do a main quest. I forgot about that. So it's not just ambient dialogue, it's get your butt in here dialogue. Is everything alright? Why a chair over? This is such a weird place to put a chair. Put it next to the fire, you weirdo.
Ah, Rook. Care to join me on a visit home?
Oh my
Time
gosh!
for the old grave rituals?
Yes. The memorial gardens need tending. I could use a fellow watcher's
This
company.
is so fun! It's so fun! It's so fun! Walking the grave, dude. I do this like not 100%, but like I don't know. I like to visit graveyards because to me it's like sort of keeping company of the dead a little bit. Like I don't want to see it as a place to like fear or to avoid. It's like, you know what? It is what it is. To dust we all shall return. You know what I mean? And I think it's kind. Like, I don't know, when I'm dead, I kind of hope people come by and put flowers on my grave or come look and just see. I'm going to try to put something cool on my headstone, you know? But I also like the garden thing. Like, I love, like I said, right? Like, I love like plants growing, like, amidst the bones, or like just like the idea of life coming from death, from decay. And plants do that just on their own, you know? So the fact that they have like a memorial garden too is nice, which I'm sure some places keep that because it's like then you can get fresh flowers for graves and stuff like that, you know? Was that he was the only one back here? Yeah, okay. All right. No. The caretaker though probably wants his upgrade.
Manifestation.
Did I? Nope, and you're right. Ooh, nice. I think there's only 10 max, and I think now I got some more enchantments. Enchantments. Yeah, where's Sandal? Oh yeah, I did. Okay, sick. Unlocks at rank 10. Cooldown duration. Oh, I do want to keep the defense up on that one. Yeah, I like the ones I already have. If I could get, like, armor damage and barrier damage on, like, my shield, that would be sick. I don't know, I'm not gonna worry about it right now. People need me. People need me. Rook dies. I think the caretaker would save me.
I cannot say.
Oh.
Who created you?
I cannot say.
Dreadwolf.
What can you say?
I cannot say.
Right. Deserve that.
Got the archive spirit working, I see.
Rook, you're here.
Working
And
is
I did. Sort
generous.
of. A little bit. It appears, but it won't tell me anything.
You simply ask the wrong questions. A common affliction of the weak-minded.
Oh.
Also that. It's kind of mean.
I thought it was just an archive. How can it be mean?
The creator, its creator, I mean. An archive spirit takes on the personality of whoever makes
It's
it.
definitely Solus's.
Which, okay, that's an idea. Syrian learned a lot, taught me a lot about these archives. They have, well, not thoughts like us, but sort of pathways, I guess. They can only respond to specific questions worded in specific ways.
Seems like a pain.
So, if you're powerful, like almost God level powerful, how would you talk to someone you see as lesser?
Yeah. Condescendingly.
Really condescendingly, based on experience so far.
Right. You wouldn't ask questions, you'd tell them what to do. So let's try that. Archive, tell me who built you.
One of the greatest of Elvenar, a steward of her glory.
Oh.
Truly, I was blessed to bathe
It
in his
was Solus.
Anaris built me, and to him I shall someday
He's one of the
return.
Forgotten Ones.
You mean the Forgotten One?
I cannot say.
Good point. That was us.
Oh, I want to ask. Yeah, what that was us. What, like that was on us? That name.
Anaris. I know I've heard that name before.
Yeah, a Forgotten One. Remember the nursery rhymes? Don't speak their names or they'll come for you. Unlike our so-called good gods, which, well, we saw what happened there. So who knows what they really were? The Forgotten Ones. They used to say Solus was one, so best case scenario, like him. Worst case, well, you heard it talk.
Right. So this thing's dangerous if it belonged to one of them.
Well,
Could be, but still important and
I
invaluable.
don't think it takes action.
Everything Anaris knew, this thing knows, and my people deserve to know. If I can get it to tell me.
Sometimes they'll say our people, and sometimes they mess up and say my people. I feel like it's a mess up anyway.
Archive. Tell me about the Dreadwolf.
An ideologue and a fool who will soon pay the
I
price.
figured it would be very
When
biased.
Anaris dispatches the Evanuris, he will spare a thought for Fen Harel.
Oh. I thought Anaris was maybe associated with an Evanuris, but no, like maybe they were like associated together, like the Evanuris and the Forgotten Ones, and then there was like a schism. And maybe they were still, but so Anaris is actively working against the Evanuris. So I was just reading anyway, about like the Dreadwolf theories, right? Like he's like a trickster entity, so he like walks between both groups, freely. And I'm thinking, because Solus was probably originally a spirit, like a full spirit that then was like brought into or gained a mortal, like fleshy body, that his, like, it's kind of like Loki, where Loki was supposed to have been like a descendant of the giants that was adopted by the gods, right? It's like that, where maybe Solus was sort of like adopted by Mythal somehow, and then, but is like still associated with like his people, the spirits, right? And so they tolerate him. Whoever's leading this, maybe the Forgotten Ones are like leading a group of spirits or something. And this is pre Evanuris going bad, I think, because this would be the war that turned them into generals and rulers, I think. And I was curious, like I asked about Solus, right? And I was like, oh, if it's gonna embody its creator, it will embody the biases of its creator. So it's actually not a very good archive spirit. It's merely like a VI, like a virtual intelligence. It's just, instead of it having like actual, like as like, I don't know, knowledge that was written by a variety of people and then like collated, it just seems to be taking the information known by its creator. I did not think, I was like, we're gonna involve the Forgotten Ones? Like, this is wild. I mean, I was kind of hoping so, but like, are they gonna potentially be like, if we can find any, are they gonna potentially be allies? But I don't think they're nice either, is the thing. I don't know, this is crazy.
Archive. Tell me about the Evanuris.
A group of cowards hiding behind their more powerful magic and superior numbers. Their jealousy of Anaris was palpable. Their war is unending. But Anaris will prevail.
This spirit is intensely biased. Jeez.
Have fun with the condescending spirit.
I'll try. Could be worse, I guess.
I mean, as long as you pander.
Worse, like the wound of betrayal Lord Anaris suffered.
Oh, so you have opinions
Soon
now.
he will cast down the oppressors and take his rightful place.
It has opinions now.
What a shame I can't stay longer. Good luck.
Appreciate the support.
We didn't tell it in order. We didn't tell it to talk to it. It just chose of its own volition to speak. Okay. Also, I don't know, this may be really late. This reminded me though.
No one said saving the world would be easy. Just wish it were easier.
If my friend Frog Raider happens to be watching, I hope you're doing well, my friend. One of my oldest friends. And I'll hopefully put in maybe a shout out earlier. I wasn't sure if I should, but anyway, this reminded me of you, my friend Frog Raider. I hope you're doing well. If you're watching, I hope you're enjoying the game if you can play. But yeah, anyway, side note. And oh, they're over here.
Do Templars really not have authority over mages in Tevinter? What happens if there's blood magic? What do they do?
Depends on the Templar. Depends on who's bought their loyalty.
What do you do when the authorities can't be trusted to do the right thing?
Wow.
That's how I keep busy.
No answers, but wow, isn't that just the eternal question, you know? Spite. Spite is his name. Okay.
Why do you run around in fancy mage clothes?
What?
Because I like them?
Yeah.
You're barely even wearing a shirt.
What?
You fight Anton with a bare minute.
Yeah, you got what?
Everything all right? We're fine. Just trading fashion tips.
Oh, is that what it is?
So what I wear is a problem for you?
It's not. It's just... Why dress like that? Are you trying to make your mother happy?
What? Are you trying to make your mother happy? I would be like, the emphasis on that is weird. I don't know what she's trying to say. Like, why dress like that? Like, your mother wouldn't like that or something. Like, would your mother be happy with you like that? Like, wearing that or what? You know what I mean? Like, that I could see. But, like, also, you are bearing your midriff and you have an outfit where you're basically wearing Superman, like, underwear and, like, just, like a few strips of cloth going down. Like, I can see your whole leg. Yeah.
Is this about what your mother said on the beach?
No.
What'd she say?
Tash's mother said that Taash acted more like a man than a woman.
And you feel like you should wear dresses to make her happy?
No. Can you imagine me in a dress? I'd look stupider than I'd look stupid.
I'm actually gonna cry a little, like I'm tearing up. Honestly, and maybe I'll edit this out, but like I feel the same about myself. I think I think I look pretty good, honestly. Like, I'm content with the way I look. I enjoy seeing my crow's feet coming in. I enjoy seeing the gray hairs coming in. I think it makes me look more dignified or something, you know what I mean? But like my body shape in general, for a very long time since I was young, I have hated wearing dresses. Hated. I'm perfectly content with my gender as woman, assigned female, whatever. Like, that's fine. But I hated wearing dresses. Always. I feel like I look, when I put on a dress, even now as an adult, and so I don't do it anymore. I feel like I look like, and I mean this in like not a derogatory way, but I feel like I look like a man dressing up as a woman. Like, I don't know what it is about that, because like I feel like I look very masculine. I feel like I look like a masculine person in a dress, and it just like doesn't, the dissonance for me, I don't like it, at all. Like, it makes me extremely uncomfortable. I think I look really great in like pants and shirts and stuff like that, but like I just don't like wearing dresses at all. So this is really interesting, and I don't necessarily think it's a case of like her wanting to wear a dress. It's just that I don't know what we're getting. I'm trying to figure out something here, if we're like dealing with like Kunari, like strict gender Kunari gender ideals. And again, she seems pretty young, so now a part of me is like, I really don't know if I should romance her. She seems very young. I don't know. Yeah, it's not about the dress, is it?
This isn't about the dress, is it?
No, it's... I don't know. She always says stuff like that. About how I dress, how I act.
And?
It feels... right. When she says I act more like a man. It feels... right.
Okay.
Why does it feel right?
Taash, do you like being a woman?
Nobody likes being a woman.
Ah.
This is stupid. Forget I said anything.
That's tough. Oh, yeah.
Hey, it's not stupid. I do like being a woman, but if you don't, maybe that's something to think about.
But what does it mean?
It could be about your mother's expectations, or about how it feels to be a woman and Kunari. Or maybe it's being a woman, period.
How would knowing that help? It won't change anything.
Some of my friends in Minrathas talk about not feeling comfortable in their own skin. As a man, as a woman. I could see if they'd like to talk. Maybe what they say fits how you're feeling.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, good.
And thanks. You do look really pretty.
Oh?
To look at. I'd smudge your makeup.
Thanks for letting me down gently.
Aww. Okay. I'm gonna cry again. That was actually, I don't know. Yeah, it's like it shouldn't be painful to be a woman. I don't know, that felt like kind of, not in the necessarily in like the transgender sense, because like I said, cis woman, happy with it, happy enough. But at the same time, it's like, not happy in the sense that like, why do we have to struggle? You know what I mean? Just to like, for the right to exist in many ways, right? Where it's like, why can't I just walk down the street without worrying about getting harassed? Stuff like that. You know what I mean? But like, that was like a really, Dead's like really well said moment between like three women and, or somebody who's questioning, you know? And I see now why maybe, I might edit this bit out because I don't want people to be pissy in the comments. But I see now why some of my friends were saying that the like incels that are like hating on Veilguard don't like Taash, and I was like, oh, they're probably just, you know, scared, you know, crapless of a strong, tough, you know, beautiful woman, you know. And they were like, it's not just that, it's something else. And I was like, I don't know, they also seem to be like really obsessed with like the fact that you could be transgender in this game. And it's like, that's none of your, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. Like, it's none of your business, you know what I mean? Like how somebody else wants to play the game, you know. And like, I don't know. So like, this is maybe the thing where she's potentially figuring out. But also my thing too is that like, being a woman doesn't need to be a singular set of ideals, right? Like, it doesn't need to be, and I've had to learn that. I had to unlearn internalized misogyny as I become an adult, right? Like, as a kid, I was always like, you know, I just, you know, I want to be treated like a boy. But like, when somebody called me a boy when I had short hair, like, you know, not knowing, and I was just like, I'm not a boy. Like, I don't want to be a boy. I just want to be treated like one, you know? And like, basically I just wanted to be treated the same, you know. I wanted to go do archery instead of doing knitting crafts at like little church camps, you know. Like, I wanted to do all these other things that I didn't get to do necessarily. And so to me then it was like this weird mishmash of like, you know, oh no, I'm not like other girls, but also like, don't talk I don't know, like, I had that whole phase of, like, you know, I'm a tough tomboy, I don't like girly things, and pink sucks, and blah, blah. You have to grow out of that, you know? Like, if you're going to be a decent person, you have to grow out of that, too. But it's a phase a lot of women I know went through, you know? Where it's like, you try to not be the thing that society says you are, that all the little boys say you are, and so then you overreact by becoming, like, I'm not like girls. But at the same time, it was like, for me, it was like, you know, well, why is it like that? Like, I remember once I wanted to go on a river rafting trip, and, like, all the boys in, like, the church group or whatever, like, they were all gonna go, and I remember looking at my dad and thinking that he looked sad that he didn't get to go for some reason. I don't know why I thought that, but I went up to the church leader person, and it was a man, and I was like, I was like, if my dad and I could go, if we could have permission to go on this water rafting trip, because my dad didn't have a son, and I thought I was enough. That's what I was like, I think it's enough. I'm his oldest, you know, so I was like, why can we go? And I wasn't allowed, of course. So I was pretty young, but you know, it's just one of those things where it's like, why does it have to be different, you know? So to me, anyway, this is all supposed to circle back to, there's not one way to be a woman, and I've had to unlearn that. I've learned to appreciate, like, I used to think, like, you know, textile work, like weaving and crocheting was so lame, so boring, you know, it has no use, you know? And as an adult, and especially as an archaeologist, I've really grown to respect, like, the people who study textiles, the people who make textiles, the stories, the effort that goes into it, and I've really come to appreciate those crafts that as a young girl I despised, because to me it put me in a box I didn't want to be in, you know? So yeah, in that instance, I think there was something that could have been said in that conversation where it's like, being a woman is not, you don't have to do this and this to do it. You can do whatever. I remember sometimes I'd say when I was a kid, and I didn't believe it, even though I said it, I was like my mom sometimes, not very often, but sometimes she'd say, well, you know, girls don't do that. I'm like, well, I'm a girl and I'm doing it, so therefore girls do it. But it still, like, really hurt me, and it made me think, you know, that there was, like, a dissonance there where, like, even though I'd say that and I wanted to believe it, I didn't quite believe it, you know? But to me as an adult, like, if you're a woman, a girl, whatever, and you're doing whatever you want, like, that means that it's, you don't have to do certain actions or play with certain toys to be a woman or a girl, is what I'm trying to say. Or a man, you know what I mean? Like, or whatever, you know what I mean? And so, trying to fit ourselves into these boxes only ends up breaking more bones than it solves anything, you know what I mean? So, I would have maybe said to Taash, like, you know, maybe your concept of woman needs to change, where, like, you can be whatever you want to be, and do whatever you want to do, and act however you want to act, and still be a woman, you know? But that's just my perspective. Whereas for her, if she's feeling some sort of, like, body dysmorphia? Dysphoria? Why dysmorphia? I don't know. Now I think dysmorphia is wrong, but, like, all of a sudden now I'm like, that sounds right, and it doesn't. But, you know, like, if you know what I mean? If you're experiencing that, like, it's a whole other thing entirely, and if she's experiencing that, you know what I mean? But this will be interesting. This will be very, very cool. I was kind of hoping for Krem to come back in this, and I guess I'll say Krem is the first, I think, transgender, like, pretty, I think the first, like, openly transgender character in Dragon Age. Which, again, is so funny to me that, like, incels are like, you know, oh, Dragon Age getting woke now. I'm like, we've been woke. You know what I mean? Like, if that's what you're going to say, like, now it's been for a long time. But, I remember Krem was the one, people usually, like, there's, like, you go throughout the game, right, any of the Dragon Age games, and, like, usually there's a person in there that everybody, like, the fans, like, I want to romance that one, and we can't, right, you know, it's just, there's always at least one, maybe two, in every game, where it's like, why couldn't we romance that one, and the developers are just like, like, we gave you so many, and now you still want more, you know. Krem was that one, at least for me, and I know for some people in Inquisition, I was like, I want to romance Krem, you know what I mean, like, he's very attractive, and he seems fun, like, he seems like a fun guy. I was really hoping Krem would be a companion in this one. I kind of wish we had Krem instead of Harding, but I know Harding was a lot of people's Inquisition one that they wanted to romance, and you could kind of have a little bit of a romance, but, like, not really. It was more like a casual flirting relationship. But yeah, so, oh, the cat wants out, but yeah, shoot, what was I thinking about? But yeah, no, I think this will be the first technically transgender companion character, if she goes that way, you know what I mean? And I'm just going to keep using she for now, because, like, I haven't been told to change that, you know what I mean? So, Yeah, but this will be very interesting too to see how her story gonna go. You know, like I have transgender friends, like I've met a lot of transgender people, but like it'll be interesting to kind of like walk through it in like a. I think this was why Krem was so good in Inquisition, because you could kind of ask questions, and they were pretty good questions. Where it was not a ton, you weren't like bombarding him or anything, but it was like, you know, what about this, and then he answers, you know, like so, you know, but you don't have to like bother a transgender person because it's not their job to teach you. You know what I mean? And online sources can vary wildly, you know, so it was just nice to have like sort of a safe space from somebody who was fictional but made by real people who had like experience in being able to answer these questions, or had help in being able to answer these questions, you know. I hear you. So it'll be cool for that, for me personally, to like walk through this with her and not feel like I'm harassing a transgender friend with anything, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, anyway, let me get the cat. Alright, let the cat out. Everything still looks good. Let's go talk to Mr. Broody McBruderson.
Lucanus, where is he?
Oh. Why is that ominous? The fact that the doors open and close by themselves is a little freaky. I was scared for a second. I'm like, did Spite close the door on me? Where is he? Is he in my... Oh no, he's not in my room. I was like, he is in the hallway down to the Alluvian. Oh, Spite is making moves. I think, I don't know, maybe Lucanus is fine and just has something he wants to talk about. But why, I mean, he would tell me, right? I'm gonna open the door and it's gonna be the demon. Oh, it's gonna be the demon.
Back, demon! No further!
Ah.
Isn't standing up to them supposed to work?
Let Lucanus go. Don't make us hurt both of you.
What's going on? Lucanus?
It's not Lucanus, it's the demon. It's taking him over. He's trying to leave.
How did we figure that out?
Smells like jam and brimstone.
What
Rook,
does...
do something.
Demon cease. Halt. I don't know. My god, I think there's cat hair floating around everywhere and it's like all over my face. Humor reached him last time. Let's see.
Lucanus, wake up!
Ugh.
Is that good?
What the?
What? That worked?
Tried to walk through the Alluvian in your sleep.
Spite wanted out.
I need coffee.
But maybe you should take him on, what is it? What is the word? Regulated walks? I honestly feel like these dialogue, like the dialogue is good, but I don't feel like they're very distinct from each other. This one is often kind, and this one's often just like short, you know, not often, but sometimes, right? Where it's like I'm thinking like there's gonna be like a witty or like a silly or something, and this one's gonna be like maybe harder, like harsher, and sometimes it's actually incredibly kind, and so I'm like, I mean, I don't know, right? Like it's just like 3 different conversational options, not necessarily each one associated with their icon, at least in my mind so far.
You can't just caffeinate your way out of this.
He's like,
It's hard
disapprove,
for Spite to
disapprove.
take control when I'm awake, so I try to stay awake.
You can't
That's so
just
unhealthy.
Stay awake forever. I think that would kill you.
I'll be more careful next time.
Whoa. Yeah.
We have to make Spite understand that he's endangering you.
He's Spite, not learning. He doesn't listen to anyone. Don't worry about it. This won't happen again. And thanks.
No, this is something that needs to be addressed. Like, what? this out. That was not enough by any stretch of the imagination. Questions on demonic possession. I'm trying to see. Nope. Okay. Why do demons seek to possess the living? History claims that they are malevolent spirits. The first children of the... Yep, okay. Angry at their creator for turning from them and jealous of those creations he considered superior. They stare across the veil of the living and do not understand what they see, yet they know they crave it. They desire life. That's also something I think that was cool, to create entities who, like, crave something they cannot provide themselves. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like the way he created them, or the way the Maker, according to the lore, created spirits was just unkind, you know? Half-lives, essentially. And maybe maybe this is just what happened after the Sundering, like after the veil went up. Maybe before, the spirits didn't have this desire, you know, this, maybe the with everything together, like Solo says, that he feels like everybody was walking around like a half a person, you know? And so, like, maybe with everybody in tandem, kind of, it was actually a bit more of a whole existence, right? Where you could manipulate the world around you and have imagination and create wonderful things together, right? Interesting. They desire life, they pull the living across the veil when they sleep, and prey on their psyche with nightmares. Whenever they can, they cross the veil into our world and possess it outright. And again, this is patently false. There are plenty of spirits that don't want to cross over, and are just merely curious and, like, looking. And then there are some that want to cross, and then there are some that are forced to cross. We know that any demon will seek to possess a mage, and upon doing so will create an abomination. Most of the world does not know, however, that the strength of an abomination depends entirely on the power of the demon that possesses the mage. This is true, in fact, of all possessed creatures. One demon is not the same as any other. Demons, for instance, can be classified. Enchanter Bram's categorization of demons into that portion of the psyche they primarily prey upon has held since the Tower Age. Excerpt from The Maker's First Children by Bader, Senior Enchanter Ostwick, which is in the Free Marches. Scroll below in Lucas's handwriting. Emmerich declares this categorization limited by Navaran standards, and Nev claims it makes the matter overcomplicated based on what she's seen. Either way, it only speaks of mages again. Every text says I should be dead or impossible. There must be something else. I did notice that, like, the demon will possess the mage, and it's like, ooh, that's not going to help him, you know? There's obviously a different bind here, because mages can reach the fate, like, they can back and forth easier. It's easier for the demon to reach over to a mage and experience the real world. Because the mage can kind of go back and forth mentally, consciously, whereas most people can only go in dreams, right? So yeah, it is odd how this was able to work, and we definitely need more information. Oh, are we going to get into, the gender of the Kunari situation? No, Taash notes. Meeting shadow dragons to talk gender stuff. What time? Okay. Writing notes to work through gender crap. Showing to Rook for help, maybe. I can. Mayvera's pretty, Tarquin tough, both trans. Tarquin is, I know, have I only read about Tarquin? Oh, God. Is that one of the, like, I think he's one of the Shadow Dragon guys that I've seen. Anyway, yes, Mayveris is trans. Both open about being trans and said I could share stuff if it helped me on my journey. I did not ask for journey. An interesting point. Maybe, like, I think some people might think people are just like, I'm going to be trans today. And it's like, that's really not how it works, as far as I know, even as a cis person. You know what I mean? Like, you're not just like, and for many people when they realize that they're queer, it's not like I chose this, you know? It's like, you're just like, oh, well, this explains things about me, and, like, you know what I mean? And this helps me understand myself better. But many people are like, I didn't ask for this. Like, I just wanted to live my life. You know what I mean? And so that's an interesting way for her to be approaching this, which makes sense. Trans means was other gender, then changed. Wait, no, was always new thing, just now acknowledged. Not changing, affirming. Trans woman is woman. Not feeling right in body is dysphoria. I did dysmorphor. Yeah, I was trying to do like a morph thing in there, like morph, like body shifting, changing, and I was like, wait, no. But then I was like, wait, that sounds kind of right. Whole big thing. Could feel like want to be guy instead of girl. No. Could feel like not connected to body. Not everyone does this. Interesting. Could feel uncomfortable with girls who act more feminine. No, I like girls. Girls smell good. But like hanging out with lords more than girls. But the lords are Bellara are boys and girls. And anything else. Ashamed of not doing what your gender should do. Ugh, getting euphoria is feeling right. Oh, yeah, maybe dysphoria versus euphoria. I mean, I know they're kind of different. Like, one's a body thing, and one's just like, you use it as like a euphoria is like, ooh, I feel good, great. But that's really interesting to have them as like sort of a binary is not necessarily a good way to describe things like this, but like the juxtaposition of the two. Non-binary means not man or woman, can feel like either, can look like guy, girl, neither. Some use she, he, some swap, some use they, but still single with name, but yeah, still as one name. Flynn is non-binary. They are coming this way. Confusing, but sure. Okay, yeah. So Flynn, like an entity, singular, not Flynn are non-binary. Flynn is non-binary. They are coming this way. I mean, some languages are way more complicated about it. English is pretty easy. Has been used in the past. People like to pretend it hasn't, but it has often been used as a singular, like I can't remember the word, like a singular pronoun to indicate an entity that you don't know the gender of, like right out the gate, where it's like, oh, I went with my cousin to go shopping. It's like, oh, how were or like, oh, did they take their car or something? Like if somebody doesn't know, like, you know what I mean? Like if someone's like, I went with my cousin to the grocery store, and the other person is like, oh, did they have a car to take you? Because I know you don't have one, or what, you know what I mean? Like, it just kind of flows out that way in conversation generally if you don't know what the gender is of the person, Also, gender fluid. Feels different on different days. Can switch pronouns. Don't think that's me. Okay. Honestly, I have conflated gender fluid and non-binary. So if this is a legitimate, which I assume they did a really good job researching all of this. I think Patrick Weeks now is actually, not is now, but what is affirming the new the thing that has always been that they are non-binary. I think non-binary now. I'm like non-binary gender fluid. I don't know. You just like, ooh, instead of non-binary being like, I'm just gonna walk a path this way. Gender fluid is like, I feel like this day and this that day and this that day. Because which pronouns? I think that's just me guessing. Don't think that's me. Agender. Bi. Oh, I was like, I was like big ender. I was such a hard time with that for a second. Big end. Bi-gender, demigender. It was seeing the demigender that helped me. Others, lots of different ones. Not me, but okay. Never too late. Valid, even if no words when younger. Blah 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 blah. Mayvera saw notes and is mad. Write this down exactly. You're valid. People will say that you're not enough. This or too much that. Do not let it diminish you. No two journeys are alike. That's wonderful. Embrace it. Did you get all that? Okay, fine. Anyway. I think that sentiment, that last one, can go for many people of a variety of different experiences. Where it's like, if you're a woman and you're like, cis woman, whatever, and it's like, oh, you're too emotional, but then sometimes it's like, oh, you don't care enough, and it's like, well, what do you want? You know what I mean? Like, what do you want from me? Like, or like, you're too excited about this thing, and then it's like, oh, but you're not excited, you're not like exclaiming enough about my new project that I'm on or whatever, you know what I mean? And it's like what do you want from people? Just live and let live, you know what I mean? Like it's crazy how it's simultaneously possible to be too much of something and not enough of the same thing somehow, I don't know. But yeah, this is gonna make me cry. I'm gonna cry. I just freaking... Why are we having like extra spooky noises going on? Like, I feel like we haven't had that. We didn't need that. It's okay, the demons are coming up through my floors. How is everybody doing? Everybody's in their respective rooms. We still have to talk to Davin. I might need to go poke Lucanus again. I know he's not going to say anything, but like, dude, you can't just be like, my demon almost walked me out, and then be like, I'm going to drink coffee and stay awake forever. I'm like, you'll die. It's like, I think it's like, I don't know, 72 hours or something without sleep, your brain just shuts down. Like, there's a reason it's a really useful torture method.
Minrathos, I cannot imagine what Nev feels.
Listen, I need you to stop drinking. I need you to stop drinking coffee, and we can, like, I don't know, bar your door so you can get a good night's sleep. and have somebody sit out, like, have a guard rotation. Like, we're friends, buddy. What are friends if not guard rotation buddies? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my, what?
Sorry,
I can't.
didn't mean to interrupt.
Please do. I need to hear an actual voice now and then.
His voice is so good.
Can't imagine why.
I'm starting to dream that I'm a griffin. Squawk.
He's so cute. Look, Squawk. What? What? He's, oh, Mans needs to get out. Jeez. Oh my gosh, no. I think I really love Davern's voice. I think in one of the early videos I was like, I don't know about his voice. No, his voice was always fine. The guy who voices him voices Javik. I always want to call him Javik. Which I was like, okay, alright, this is good, you know? I'm looking forward to that. But like, there was one of the trailers where I was like, kind of like, I didn't hear enough of him to really like get a handle on things, and also like I felt like at least in that trailer his face was like really squished looking, and that was the one where they showed off the new Canary look, and it was like I was just distracted with everything. I was just like, I don't like the Canaries look like porcelain dolls with massive foreheads, and I was just like, his face didn't quite look like it was like done being made, like, or some, I don't know, like it just looked a little different. I feel like he looks different in the main game than he did in the trailer. So like, we're having a great time here. Like, it's just, and just look at him.
Keep dreaming. It's good to have goals in life.
The real dream is getting him to take a nap. So what brings
What a
you by?
dad.
Just curious, really. Wondering what it's like being a Grey Warden. There've always been these legendary warriors living apart from the world.
Don't know about that. I spent time with people who were bad right up till they took their vow.
How so?
Weishaupt is the last stop for the wrong sort. If you're facing prison or worse, you can always join the Grey Wardens and take your chances with the Blight.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like, in the first game, in Origins, I always had issues with Alistair over sentimentalizing the Grey Wardens and being like, they're heroes, and they are heroes, you know, but he was like really mad when you try to do a certain thing and get somebody in the Wardens who he doesn't think is worthy of being in there. I'm like, I don't think you understand, like, the Wardens, like, that is, like, there's so many prisoners in the ranks of the Wardens, you know, thieves, murderers, you know, people who've done terrible things who either feel really bad about it and want to, like, you know, make up for it somehow, or you know, there are people who want to be heroes too, who want to be a Grey Warden, you know, for like good reasons, but like it is often, even the guy that Alistair looks up to, Duncan, his mentor, his sort of father figure, like he was, according to like the books, right, the extraneous material, Duncan was a thief who actually accidentally killed a man, so he was technically a murderer and was like gonna be hung for being a murderer, and then he was given to the Grey Wardens or with the Grey Wardens or something. So it's like over heroizing them, I think, is a problem. That they weren't born to be heroes necessarily. It is truly sometimes like a last resort, but also I think it's a place for people to go who do feel like so much regret, it like overwhelms them, right? And like you can live a life like the rest of your life if you become a Grey Warden, knowing that nothing you do will change whatever terrible thing you did, but you can move forward with your life trying to make the world a better place in spite of that. And to me, that's what the ultimate redemption arc is, right? It's like recognizing that you have done a terrible, terrible thing and knowing you can never fix it, and that people will maybe hate you forever, and rightfully so, but you will still spend every day trying to be a good person and trying to make the world a better place, because even if you can't change what you did, you can change what you do going forward. You know what I mean? Anyway. That's my I have that. I do that frequently. That redemption rant.
And just how wrong are the wrong sort?
Thieves, brigands, pirates, and the odd murderer now and then.
Sounds fun, right up to the murdering.
At least now they're murdering Darkspawn.
Yeah. And I have wondered before if that would actually go poorly. It's surprising how dedicated all the Wardens we know are to their cause, especially when you do get people like that who maybe were just like self-serving or out for themselves, and then they survive the warden thing and like the warden ritual, and like now they're all of a sudden gonna be like, they're gonna be like, why wouldn't they just like escape, you know, and run away? That doesn't seem to be an issue, and I don't think we could track them down. Like the wardens don't have blood magic like that, you know, but they could maybe sense a warden in the vicinity, but like they'd have to track him down like the normal way, like a detective way, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I've always kind of wondered if they ever had problems with people who abused being a warden, right? Who like would go into towns and like be little mini tyrants, you know, for a while or something. But
I've heard about Weishaupt. Never been there.
It's a giant fortress and home of the Grey Wardens. It's been standing for as long as anyone remembers.
Right.
At least since the first Blight.
Does
That's
it have
gonna
floating
fall.
buildings like the lighthouse?
No, but things float up from the latrines.
oh my
Fun bunch
gosh.
you hang out with.
The wrong sort have their charm.
But
Has your first warden always been, well,
A stubborn bastard?
one way of putting it?
He means well in his own way. He's old-fashioned. Tradition is everything. Keeps us disciplined. We never deviate from it.
He'll have to. Elganon and Gillinan won't play by his rules.
If he even believes in them. The man doesn't have much imagination. Even the right sort can be the wrong sort.
Oh, we're gonna be we're flirting. Yeah, oh yeah, we're flirting.
You don't seem the wrong sort.
No one's born a hero.
You're really selling it.
It gets better. When Darkspawn threaten a village, when innocent people are in danger, then we swoop in, swords held high, armor gleaming, while 100 faces look to us for salvation. And they all live to see the sunrise because of what we do.
Okay. Now I get it.
Best part is the warden fighting alongside you. Maybe they've done some bad things in the past. But after that day, it's different. There's some honor in their life where there wasn't before. Nothing like seeing redemption happen before your eyes.
He gets it. No, yeah, I guess maybe like you would maybe try to run or something, but then when you get treated, like maybe you've been treated poorly your whole life, and like that's why you became a thief or a brigand or went down a bad path, is because you never saw another way out. But maybe that's what it is the wardens offer another way out. Like very few people are, if given the chance to like actually have a cause in their life, will like throw that away, you know, especially if it's like literally your last resort, right? Like where you might think you're not worthy of, you know, a second chance or a cause or whatever, but it's like, hey, this is your life now because you have nothing else, you know. And it's like, all right, and you give it a try, and then you're like, oh wow, like I can be somebody different, I can be a hero, and people can treat me better, you know. Criminals are criminals.
We all need that chance. Put past sins to right.
It makes the warden stronger to have people in our ranks who've lived in the shadows. When the storm comes, you don't want farmers and florists fighting archdemons. It takes the wrong sort to put the world right.
Kinda like
Interesting.
us, I suppose.
Minus the skeleton butler.
I don't know. Manfred the Warden has a ring to it.
How about we quit while we're ahead? See you around.
Oh my gosh, he's very attractive. He's very attractive. Oh yeah, and I have a gift for him. Is he added? Oh, okay. I keep wondering if he'll add stuff. Alright, I'm ready to have a lackluster response.
Good taste.
Oh yeah! It's the griffin, like what's left of like a griffin bestiary. Oh my gosh, he's smiling. Look at him. He's smiling. He's so handsome. Look at him looking out into the sun. Oh my gosh! So much. Now it's a little creepy. Just like. Oh, he's very attractive. Whee! What a good time. What a good time we've had. Just all around. I hope everybody's doing well. Does Harding have anything she wanted to say? Doesn't look like it, but I will run in and touch base with her. just to hear her, whatever she has little quip to say. Puppy. Yes! That's so cute. Look at him. He's so happy when you hug him. Oh my god. She's like, ooh! I think that's what I do to the cats, my sister's cats. I always walk up and I'm like, I wanna punch you. You're so cute.
Why are there so few books about the Titans?
I mean, if we'd had books about the Titans, we would have maybe been able to go in the Descent with something, you know, like any sort of knowledge whatsoever, but we really didn't have anything. And I kept finding stories about lizard people down there, which was really super interesting, and I'm wondering if that's going to play at all a part in anything, like actual, like not just like, you know, weird government conspiracy theories. The weird government conspiracy in this one is the moon people. Which is always hilarious to come across. But there's like potentially an actual race of like reptilian people underground. That's a thing in this game. So that's cool. But yes, I think I will. Oh, I guess I'll go Pug Manfred. I don't know. Lots of people like Manfred, and I'm like, well, unless Manfred starts doing something. I mean, he's cute. It's funny. He's a cute little guy. Oh, I did lose. He's winning. He's growing. All right. Maybe my interactions with him will help him, will help him grow as an individual. Anyway, I think Hassan's the one I like. Where's my Hassan plushie? They have like Manfred plushies at the BioWare store, but where's my Hassan plushie? But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call this one here. It's been a lot. Been an emotional roundabout, and I'm so glad I came back because I was totally forgot we had like a main quest thing. And I could have potentially lost the dialogue that was like timed, but anyway, thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it. I'm going to cut away now and say thank you to my patrons. Alright, really quick, I want to say thank you to my patrons, to all my patrons, including my Acorn tier patrons. Thank you so much, Fane, for your support. I very much appreciate it. And I want to give an extra special shout out to my Sapling tier patrons, Reese Galito, thank you so much, and Sebastian James, thank you so much. I appreciate your guys' support. And I want to give an extra super special shout out to my Forest tier patrons who have gone above and beyond in their support of me and the channel, and who I truly, honestly cannot thank enough. So thank you, Christopher, so much for your support, and thank you so much, Nightshade, for your support. I appreciate you both very much, and thank you all again for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.